Good morning, everybody. You can probably see me before I can see you. That's the way it seems to work here. And I'm trying to pull the chat up. There we are. Yes, I got it, that the meeting is being live streamed. Good morning. So I am messing with my desk area. Good morning, Karen. How are you today? Deep breath. Sitting down here going, yay, what's up? You got your coffee, Karen? Ready for today? Today. I just came from Donna's live over there, wondering what my YouTube is doing here. There we go. Awesome. All right. You're doing good. That's a good thing. You making any projects today? I played with my Cricut yesterday because I'm still trying to figure out how to fix that silly sewing machine. Not a coffee drinker, huh? That's okay. Nothing wrong with tea. Well, I played with my Cricut yesterday, and so far I've created this. I've still got to finish weeding it, but I'm going to put some mandalas on my Cricut. Trying to do a little decor stuff. Go from there. I keep messing with this thing because it keeps wanting to act up on me. There we go. And then I've got an orange one I'm going to do today. You're going to be running around today. Are you running errands? Or are you doing anything fun? Good morning, Tracy. How are you? I just showed, I didn't make any more progress on the mandala after we talked last night. So I do have a video up about how to do it. It's how to cut a label on a Cricut Maker. So if you wanted to look at that one, you could. It's a little more detailed than what I was showing you. But I'm going to finish probably the blue mandala today if my hands are going to give me the ability to do so. And then I may play with the orange one, but I want to get the other panel off that brother because I think that the reverse issue is fairly easy to fix. And once I get that one fixed, or the reverse issue fixed, then I'm going to see if I can get it to start stitching. If I can, there will be a video of it going through its paces. So I'm hoping. So I know I told Tracy, but Karen, I don't know if you've heard, I've been putting up some shorts because YouTube requires you have 4,000 views or something before you can, or 4,000 watch hours before you can monetize and grow as a YouTuber. So I've been putting up shorts to try to get those watch hours up. And I had one that went up yesterday morning. It's over 1,200 views now. So I'm like, yay! I'm really happy about that one. Hubby's been looking at it going, okay. And he's trying to help me get everything monetized. Because of course he wants me to be successful, which is nice. I'm going to, when I cut my mandalas yesterday, I cut them a little bit on the big side, or I cut the vinyl that goes around it a little bit on the big side. Put the camera down a little so you can see what I'm doing here. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that's bright orange. It looks yellow on screen. Good afternoon, Lynn. Yeah, it is afternoon for you in the UK. So I cut it on a big piece of vinyl, and now I've got it to a smaller one. And some of this stuff is really easy to do. So while we're waiting to get started here, waiting on people to come in, I'm going to start doing a little bit of the weeding on this. I was kind of looking for Donna to show up. I need to get her tech support and my tech support in the same place to chit chat with each other. I want to see if she wants to do a Zoom with me after we get done here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So there's the outside of it that I took off. Oh, it's chilly in the UK today. That's not good. Anybody ever seen one of these? This is a Cricut. It's a weeding tool, but it's actually modeled off of a dental pick. This right here is some Cricut work that I did yesterday. I started weeding. I did a blue one and an orange one. And this is part of what it's going to look like. This one's not completely weeded yet. But I was thinking I'd get a little bit of this weeded out right now because I have to do this in spells. I can't sit and weed all at one time. It's not in my wheelhouse. My hands won't do it. I was on Facebook Live last night showing it to somebody, and I lasted maybe 10 minutes before my hands said, hey, guess what? We don't like what you're doing. So, yeah. So I'm just trying to get some of this big pieces of vinyl off. That doesn't look like it cut all the way, though. There we go. Because, see, I'm one of those weird people. I think, ooh, if I get a big piece off, then I feel like I've accomplished something. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. It's interesting how it comes together, though. It's kind of like quilting, when you are making something. I'm one of those people who likes to do the big part of the blocks first on quilting and then go back and do the little stuff and put it together because it makes me feel like I've accomplished more. It's a little easier to see this morning with the light, though. And I'm going to weed this one a little bit backwards from how I did the one last night. Last night I was taking off the big pieces instead of the little pieces. And I think on this one, good morning, Delia. On this one, I think I'm going to take the little pieces off and leave the big ones, just so it looks a little different. So see? And on this one, I took the big pieces and left the little ones. So I think I'm going to do it opposite so they look different. They're exactly the same, except I cut one maybe a half an inch bigger than the other. I'm making mandalas. I'm going to decorate my Cricut, Delia, and I want to decorate it with some mandalas. It's got a big surface on the top of it so that when it's closed up, you see just that surface. And I've seen lots of people who've put different stuff on theirs. I did do my channel name on there. You can't see it because it's closed. I'm going to turn you a little bit. That says practically creative. So I put that on there yesterday. So you could see my brand. But I thought, yeah, this ought to be fun. And then I just decided that I would do a little bit of the weeding on this. Can only do a few minutes at a time because of my hands. So I thought, yeah, do a little bit of this and then I can show you guys what else I'm working on. As if you can't see behind me. Still working on my room, trying to get it all picked up and put away. I have the regular Cricut Maker, the first one they came out with, Delia. I enjoy it. I have fun with it. I hadn't used it in a while, so I've had to reteach myself the Maker over the last couple of weeks. And as you all know, I'm planning to make all my chicken salad blocks with the Maker. But I forgot how much I forgot, if that makes any sense. I was decent at using it before I put it away. And then, yeah. And then I decided I wanted to do I wanted to cut the chicken salad using that. So I've had to reteach myself some of the stuff I had forgotten. And I really want to use it to cut fabric. That's really on my list of things to do. I'm not going to make you guys watch me weed very long. I just thought I would show it a little bit here this morning. Kind of to where I'm going to. And the way I'm weeding it, I'm having to trim so I don't pull up all of this little spot in here because I want to do something different in there than what they've got in the pattern. Yeah. Where do you buy your blades at, Delia? Do you buy them on Amazon or do you go to Cricut and buy yours? Because every time I go to Cricut to buy blades, they're like 3 times the price they are on Amazon. And I'm not interested in paying that if I can help it. But what I'm really interested in, yeah, it uses SVG files, Tracy. And because I'm subscribed for the $9.99 a month or whatever it is, I get to use almost all of their files and fonts for free based on my prescription or subscription. If I could talk this morning, we'd be in good shape, right? So I've been exploring a whole lot of that stuff. And then you go into the community. Yeah. Well, if you go into the community tab on Cricut, people have made and uploaded projects. So you can do stuff like that. So like in here, in my Cricut, I cut some fusible foam to make a place for my blades to sit. Let's see if I can tilt that down a little for you. But I put fabric in the bottom and then fused the foam to the fabric. So that stores all my little Cricut blades for me, because before I was like, where are they? But I saw on Amazon when I was looking for supplies. Good morning, Colleen. Well, I'm glad you're home safely. They have all these little tiny blades with the little like rubber tip covers. See if I can get one so you can see it. Like the blade for my deep cut knife blade. This is aftermarket and that's very sharp. So I don't want to try to see if it'll, you see that little tippy blade at the end? If you push up from the bottom, you can put this cover over it and take that knife blade out. And of course, I've got mine down in there. But they apparently sell just the knife blade with the little tip. And they sell like 30 blades for $10 on Amazon. So I'm looking at that, wondering if it would work with what I've got. They have engraving blades and they have the fine cut tip, the deep point tip, I would really like to find some place where they sell the rotary blades for fabric. So you can just get that little bottom end of it, because the rotary blade for fabric, that's not it. This is the rotary blade. This is the rotary blade for fabric. It's just got a little rotary cutter. Apparently you can buy just this bottom part of it from that line down, but that bottom part costs as much as buying one with the housing on it, or that's what I've found so far. So if you know of a source for that, I would appreciate it. Because as I keep saying, I'm frugal. I keep saying I'm cheap, and you guys know it. There we go. I had to lock it. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you today? Stephanie, do you use a Cricut or any kind of cutting machine? Cricut, Silhouette, Brother Scan and Cut, any of those? I was just talking about trying to find a rotary cut blade less expensive than what Cricut charges for it, because they want like $40 for just the little rotary cut part. And I'm looking to keep my expenses down, but I want to cut a whole bunch of fabric. So I need to buy another one. And this is what I was working on last night. And I started this one this morning. Yeah, I'm glad everybody's getting over it. I'm hoping that Kim Burris is over hers by now. She's been having lots of issues with the cold she's had. At least I think it was a cold. She didn't say it was any more than that. Little vinyl stickies in the garbage before I end up wearing them. It's kind of like whenever, good morning, Steph. It's kind of like watching So Yeah, and they have little orange stickers everywhere. You have the same thing with Cricut vinyl. When you start weeding it, the little pieces like to go everywhere and get over everything. Oh, the scan and cut's tempting to me too, Stephanie. I already had the Cricut when I saw Power Tools with Thread use the scan and cut. So I was like, okay, I have this expensive machine. I'm going to make it work for me, or I'm going to break it. So I have been cutting everything. The next big project for me to cut is this. It's cardboard off of a box. The manual says that it will cut it. So I'm like, let's find out. But I have played with my Cricut a lot. I mean, this was cut with the Cricut. That's fabric for one of those necessary clutch wallets. And then I did this a couple of years ago. And the hair for Mr. Prince is all lyrics. I painted it with metallic paints, and then I put the weeded out picture on here and painted over it and then peeled it out. I'm like, yeah, I really like it. But not really, Delia. It runs anywhere depending on which model you want. They run anywhere from 700 to 1,000. But what gets you with the Cricut, the Silhouette, the Scan and Cut is buying the blades that it needs and buying files for it and that kind of stuff. And I already had, one of every kind of blade that Cricut makes except the knife blade. And I had a crud ton of files. I know how to create the SVG files from JPEGs and other stuff. But it's like anything else. It's the accessories that usually really get you. Yeah. And Stephanie, when are you going to? Oh, yeah, I love playing with paint. I think I've showed you, Lisa, the stuff I've done before from like Lisa Capon, from her patterns where she printed them out. You could do them in blocks and paint them and then sew them all together. She's got a hummingbird one that I need to download the last week of it, and then I want to print it all out and draw it onto fabric. She did it applique, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to paint it or if I want to applique it, or maybe do two versions, one of each. But yeah, that's one of the things. Good morning, Kelly. Yeah, but the scan and cut doesn't require a computer dedicated to it. I don't know. There's pros and cons to each of them. The one thing I really like about the scan and cut is that you can scan things basically directly into the machine and then cut them. With the Cricut, you have to, take a photograph, put it in, clean the photograph up, turn it into either a cut file or a print and cut file. So it depends on, I think the scan and cut's more convenient than the Cricut, but I have a Cricut and I'm going to use the Cricut till I kill it. And it was sitting on a little table over here, my little TV tray table, and I jostled it the other day. And I was like, okay, I want to kill it, but I don't want to kill it by knocking it off onto the floor. That's not on my list of things I want to do. So that's what I'm working on. I'm looking. Kelly's here. Colleen's already putting up links. She's quick on it. Good morning, Darlene. I know I missed somebody coming in. How are you doing today, Darlene? So, and then the other thing I want to get done today is I've got to move all these quilt tops that are underneath my knee down here under the table right here. I want to move them all and either put them on display, put them in a closet, or get them quilted. It's not all going to happen today, obviously, because there are 30 of them down there and probably more once I start digging. But I want to get them someplace so they're staged so I can put them on the cutie and start free motion quilting with that. Which means that once the quilts move and the backings move, then I've got to move the jazz or the juki over there and the jazz in here so I can use the jazz to sew with. I don't think that's going to be a huge deal. Delia, I certainly can. And I may already have one in there, but I will label it JPEG to SVG, and then maybe that'll be easier to find. Yeah, Colleen, I added Seems Legit, SEAMS Legit, to my list this morning because we were talking about her being Australian and a bag maker. But can you add her link for us, please? She did a really cool transformation of her store-bought chair yesterday, her office chair. She applied heat and press or heat vinyl, HTV, to her chair. And the technique she used, I thought was really interesting because I would have never thought to use heat press vinyl. Courtney, 6 p.m. Is Courtney at 6 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Central? She's at 6 p.m. Eastern or Central. That puts her at 7 Eastern. And then I don't see Lisa yet this morning. She's going live right after me today. And then Donna was live earlier. So, and I'm going to give her a call after I get done with my live today because she and I want to talk tech. So Day, has she moved hers to 6 p.m. Central Time so it would come on for us at 7? Is that right? It's okay. I just wanted to clarify because I don't want to be looking for her at 7 and her not come on till 8 or vice versa. Yeah. I was watching her live last night I think I agreed to do a live Thursday night with her and Kathy and somebody else. Stephanie is with you. Anyway, there's going to be a live Thursday night. I think they're all going to English paper piece on various quilts that they're working on, or foundation paper piece. Pardon me. Let me get the terminology right. And I am probably going to either work on my pineapple blocks, or I'm going to work on some templates that I downloaded. Yeah, because Lynn, I think that the entire island of Great Britain is about the sizes of a couple of states here in the U.S. Kathy comes on at 1:00 our time, Lisa. Yes. So I normally go from 10 to 10:30-ish our time. And then Quilting in the Country is supposed to do her first live today. She put up her first video yesterday. It was pretty good. It was a tour of her sewing room that she's just started renovating to make it more usable for her. So, and she's supposed to do a live today. I haven't heard anything specific from her. I haven't seen her online yet. But, and yeah, Lisa, I get confused too, because it's like trying to keep track of everybody. I have Colleen's cheat sheet that she uses to put the links in. And I'm always having to refer to it to figure out who's coming on when. And then there's Stephanie Stitches and Yvette and Becca and Tiffany and Ellen and everybody. And I'm like, I have to keep track of this. But Donna was talking this morning about she didn't want to step on anybody's toes. And I thought, well, we're bound to step on somebody's at this point because there's so many of us doing lives. And I told her, I said, you know what? Do the live when it works for you. That's what replays are for. Yeah. I mean, for such a little space country, though, Lynn, Great Britain's had influence over a lot of the world. A lot of the world. Yeah, from, I don't know. I don't know. I keep seeing a YouTube video pop up, and it must be saying something about my geographical skills, because it says how the world looks different than you think. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure it does. You know, I like to watch people in other countries. There's a Russian guy that I watch. He and his wife have just like got a 1-year-old daughter. And it's interesting how things work over there, because his wife's name is Susie. And Susie had their baby just over a year ago. And he was talking about it. He said that she gets 3 years of maternity leave, and then she goes back to work at the exact same job. She doesn't have to worry about job security. But 3 years of maternity leave, I was like, holy cow. Design bundles. Yeah, I like, there's a couple of places that I like. I like Designs by Juju. They have embroidery files, but sometimes you can convert those embroidery files into SVGs, or at least the pictures of the embroidery files. I also have a subscription to Creative Fabrica, Fabrica, and there are all kinds of files on there, especially if you have a subscription that you can download for free, both embroidery files, SVGs. They have, I looked for quilting files, but I didn't see a whole lot on that, but I haven't been back in there to play with it either. Exactly. You know, you catch who you can when you can. And the nice thing about lives being available for replay is that you can go back and look at a live and skip the boring parts. So if I'm boring, feel free to skip that part, you know. But it makes it, it definitely makes it easier to be able to watch everybody. Yesterday, I was trying to watch Kathy and Ellen at the same time because they both do different things. And I'm not really interested in latch hooking, but I kind of wanted to see what she was doing to get the idea. And then Ellen was on and she was doing a cathedral window, which I did want to see how to do, but I didn't want to click off Kathy. And I'm a mod for Kathy. So I want to make sure there's no trolls coming in there. And then Tiffany came live and I was like, okay, so I have 3 of them up at one time trying to watch. And I'm going back and forth because I'm, wanting to make sure there's no trolls over in Kathy's. So I'm like, yeah, a year of maternity leave. We're lucky if we get 10 minutes. Exactly, Lisa. And we, the creators, all of us are, those of us who are doing lives realize that. But I think we have to also realize that you guys have limited time too. I don't want to sit for an hour's long live. I try to keep mine at about an hour. So I figure by the end of an hour, you're tired of listening to me ramble. And, let me go on, let you go on to something else. And then let me go create something that I can put up for you to actually watch and learn from. Because I just chit chat when I do lives. I'm not very good at doing 2 things at once. I haven't got the rhythm of that yet. Your 5-year-old won the hide and seek contest at daycare this morning. Yes, I was, Colleen. Oh, well, darling, you can definitely go back and rewatch it. Lisa, was the hide and seek contest a school sponsored event? Or did he just decide to go play hide and seek on his own? That's what I'm concerned about. Doesn't work like the maternity leave doesn't work that way, Lynn. A year of maternity leave. Boy, that would be nice. Kelly, that's just not, I feel like I need to be talking to the people who are here live talking to me rather than, over here with my nose in my sewing machine. And I can show you progress I've made on projects and, show you that. And then you don't have to sit here and watch me piece. I've got 24 quilt blocks I need to piece together from a lemon quilt. But I don't really think you guys want to sit and watch me piece 24 quilt blocks. I can record that and put it up as a separate video, and then you can watch it at your speed. Yeah, I listen to, there's some stuff on YouTube that I listen to because it soothes me. But, I don't have to be physically watching somebody to watch a live. I can be piecing, especially if I'm chain piecing a whole lot of something. I did 80 of those curved blocks, the drunkard's path looking blocks, while I was listening to a live. Oh, well, at least they give you maternity payments. Oh, so it was intentional. They were playing hide and seek. It wasn't just her playing hide and seek. Okay. I was worried about that, Lisa. I have a grandson who would do that. He would decide it's time to play hide and seek, even if nobody else was playing. He hid on the bus for daycare one day, and thank goodness his teacher was right on top of it. She's counting kids and she goes, all right, where's Liam? Let me go find him. And she went back out and he was like, oh, I won hide and seek. She's like, no. Yeah. Yeah, the US doesn't do maternity payments or official maternity leave or any of that. I mean, they give you WIC, and if you're unemployed, you can get Medicaid, I think is the right term, not Medicare. to help cover the hospital expenses, but our insurance system is really screwed up. Exactly, Lynn. That's kind of me. And I'm throwing my preferences on what I do because when I'm looking for videos, if there's three and one of them is 10 minutes long and one's 20 and one's 45 to show the same technique, I'm watching the 10-minute long video, the shortest one of the three, and probably skipping through the first 3 minutes of it because they're always chatting. My or not my son, Tracy at the Sewing Channel. That's her name, right? Tracy also. I like how she says, enough talking already. It just goes on and does it. I'm like, yeah, I sit there and say that a whole lot to videos. I don't need the whole backstory. It's like looking up recipes online. I don't need 12 pages about how you got lost in the woods and decided to grow, fenugreek. And oh my gosh, after you grew, 4 years of it, you finally had enough to make this dish. That's not, I want to see the recipe. You can give me some, highlight it options or add-ins or, we changed it with this, but I don't want all the rest of that story. I don't care. I don't care. I try to do short videos if I can. Hi, Miss Topaz. How are you? Yes, he would too. I do. I watch Tori that way. Is by pausing the video and going, okay, do that step. Now look and see how she does the next one. I like her video setup. It seems legit because she gives you, same with Jess at Oakland Roots. They give you, videos that are right on top of what they're doing so you can see it really clearly. I need to figure out how to do that. I haven't got that setup figured out yet. Tech support's working it. Yes, Lisa. And I like the fact that YouTube now has chapters so that, it can be broken up into here's the intro and here's this and here's this. I like that because then I can skip all the small talk and get down to the nitty gritty. Yep. Skipping those intros. I like that too. And, especially if you're doing a really big project, like Tori does a lot of bags that are sometimes complicated, and if you've got a timestamp, if I've watched it once and then I start making it and I go, gee, how did she put in that zipper? It's nice to be able to look at the video and go, oh, here's the zipper part of it. Let me go there and just rewatch that part because it's not usually that long. Yeah, I do 3 for my title card for an intro. And, I kind of thought about that. I was like, do I need to be putting in, hi, I'm Melissa. I live in Florida, da, 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 da. Or do you just really want me to get down to it? Okay, today we're going to make a X wallet. And then let's start making the wallet. This is the pattern. This is what I cut. You don't need to know my life story in order for me to teach you how to make a wallet. I don't think. You like the timestamps, Lynn? Yeah. And the other side of that is if I do go directly into let's make this, does that show you any personality if you're not a subscriber? I mean, people who subscribe to me know that I'm, let's jump right in and do this. But people who don't, are they going to think I'm being short with them? So I'm trying to find a good balance for that. But no, I don't want to listen to, I might say I'm making a diaper bag for my daughter or for my daughter-in-law or whatever. But I don't think you need to see pictures of all 20 of my grandkids before I show you that I'm making a diaper bag. While watching the scene from I don't understand, Colleen. I don't understand why the Dukes of Hazzard theme would run through your head. Bye, Kelly. You have a great day. Thank you for coming. I watched, I'm looking now to make sure that my face is showing in the video instead of just my hands, because I know I talk with my hands. I'm a fish or cut bait kind of person for sure. I watched a video last night. It was all these different ways to all these sewing tips and tricks, and it was all the girls' hands. And she had pretty hands. She had a lot of rings on. And I was like looking at my hands going, well, I don't want to do that. Because when I did the threading video, I wondered if I should stop and explain about the RA bump on my hand. It's not operable. There's nothing they can do about it. But if you look at it, you might wonder what it is. Oh, well, that was Waylon Jennings, was the guy singing the theme to the Dukes of Hazzard, I believe. You squirreled, Colleen. You squirreled. My son squirrels. So I usually I can follow. But yeah, I kind of like the setup Donna has it, where you've got like a upper video of one angle and then another angle down here. And so Becca does it where you can see her face here, and then down at the bottom you can see the mat, what she's working on. I like that idea. So I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate that. I like Teresa Down Under. Sometimes she goes too fast for me, Darlene. Speaking of the other side of that. But yeah, she does do good videos. But sometimes I don't understand what she's doing. I have to watch it a couple times. But then it's a 3-minute video. So watching a 3-minute video 2 or 3 times really isn't that big of a deal. You can watch that fairly quickly and you can stop it, or slow it down or speed it up or whatever you want to do. So I do learn how to make blocks from her. I like it. That was, Colleen. I'm still going, yeah, that was random. But I would like to be able to show you, when I started weeding this morning, I'd like to be able to show you down on the table what I'm doing, because these are hard to weed holding them up in the air. That was why I was ending up snipping some of the vinyl, because it's hard to see where things are. And if I can get it down on the table where you guys could see it and light it well enough, then I think it's more dramatic. The transformation from all this vinyl to the shapes that it's going to take. And I would love to be able to weed something a little more complicated than the word alphabet online. And I have to make myself a note that I want to show how to convert it at JPEG to an SVG. And Day, I'm always willing to take tips and tricks for using the Cricut, especially since more coffee. There you go. Especially since I'm reteaching myself how to use the Cricut. And I'm going into fabric and I'm trying to create various things from that. I did see that Cricut has a clamshell design and design space. So I'm hoping to be able to take a couple of fat quarters and cut them down to size so I can put the clamshells in there, because I'm really having fun to do the fabric cutting on there. Yeah, weeding is a task in and of itself. And what I've kind of thought I'd like to do, I have somewhere floating around here one of those things that you use in an office to hold paper up while you type. I'm wondering if I put the weeding item on something slanted like that, if it would be easier on my neck too. Coffee's required. Tracy, I can't believe you didn't already have coffee. I've just really started getting into tea quilt stuff. Just started really getting into it. I've watched her sporadically over the years, but she was doing a crumb quilting video the other day where she was showing how she puts her stuff together. And that was mesmerizing for me. I don't know why I'm so into crumbs right now. I think because I want to get rid of as much fabric as possible. Not necessarily get rid of it. I want to use as much fabric as possible. What kind of wood do you cut those out of, Delia? I've never made a cake topper. I've never cut wood. I've never cut the cardboard. So I'm going to try that. I did, trying to think of where it's at. I've never cut heavy cardboard. Let me say that differently. I can't get to it right now. Yeah, I've got tape. I've got painter's tape. I've got masking tape. I've got double-sided tape. I have duct tape. I told Wayne I wanted some painter's tape from Dollar Tree, and he bought me a roll of everything they had, just about. I have to be careful what I tell my husband I want. I told him, I guess last year it was, I wanted a bottle of nail polish, and I wanted something pink or fuchsia or red. My husband is red-green deficient. He's not completely colorblind, but those colors kind of turn out muddy for him to see. So he goes into Dollar Tree and he messaged me, FaceTimed me, and I was like, yeah, the one all the way to the left, the one in the middle, the one on the right. There were 3 different colors that I liked. And for $1 a piece, I didn't feel bad telling him I wanted 3 bottles. He couldn't remember which ones I told him, so he came home with 12 bottles of nail polish. So I kept the ones I wanted, and I sent the rest to my stepdaughter because she's young and she likes to play with the colors. I don't like glitter nail polish on my hands. It never comes out of my fingernails. So I was like, okay. And I figured even if she doesn't wear it, she can let the little ones use it as finger paint or something. Yeah. You use glitter paper for the toppers. I don't like glitter in my house for any reason. Glitter, you can burn your house down and move into a new place with absolutely none of the same stuff, and you'll still find glitter. So I'm not a big fan of glitter. Yes, Wayne is an overachiever, Colleen. And coffee is a staple here too, Darlene. My abdominal surgeon tried to tell me that I needed to switch to decaf. And I said, okay, that's not happening. So what's the next alternative? And he was like, I figured you'd say that. So he told me not to drink more than 2 cups a day. I can live with that one, but I am not giving up caffeine completely. That's not happening. Sean, the guy who sews. It almost sounds like you should say it like James Bond, doesn't it? The guy who sews. And then the dog mom knits. She should be the gal who knits. I like the name she's using, but yeah. Does that mean Sean and Amanda don't have any kids? I'll have to ask him next time I talk to him. Or don't have any kids yet. It's not really my business. That just made me stop and think, maybe they don't. Or maybe he doesn't talk about kids online. That's perfectly acceptable if he does not. Yeah, mine get me right here. I think that I have some scrapbooking paper in my sewing room. I bought it because I thought it was pretty, but I've never used it for anything. I may pull that out and play with it, Delia. I don't shop Hobby Lobby. Welcome back, Tracy. You got coffee now? I'm about 2/3 of the way through mine, and I'm going to cry because that's my second cup of coffee. And I have to find another way to drink those collagen peptides. Yeah, red glitter organza bag at Christmas 5 years ago, and you still find glitter. Hey, Wendy. Oh, okay. I really should keep my nosy to myself. That really isn't any of my business. I shouldn't have asked it. But I've never heard him talk about them, and I just thought, oh, I wonder which way that goes. Tons of scrubbing paper. I have cardstock too, because in Florida, notaries can perform weddings. And I bought some really pretty cardstock, like one ream of it's got 100 sheets or something in it. And I bought, I had a tan, a blue, and a gray, I think, that I used. But I used to use them to print out, because Florida's marriage licenses are ugly. They get stamps all over them when they're recorded. So I used to use these to print out something that was hangable, that you could put up on the wall for pretty. And I have a good bit of the tan left. Everybody seemed to like the blue and the gray better. Good morning, Sylvia. Sylvia is about to start her channel, which I'm looking forward to. Cardstock is what I want to use. Just one layer, Delia, or do you like layer it up? Yeah, I want a giant coffee too. See, I would like to have coffee in this, but when I do it in this, I usually do like iced coffee, and I end up with, a bunch of the French vanilla syrup and some Splenda and some creamer, and then I have to stir it all up before I can add the ice, because otherwise the creamer doesn't dissolve all the way. What do you drink, Delia? Do you just drink water, or do you drink tea? I didn't really start drinking coffee till I was late 20s, early 30s. I always liked the smell of it, but I never really wanted to drink it. And then I started having to get up to go to work at 2 a.m. So I was going to bed at 6 o'clock at night. And coffee became a necessity at that point. When I worked convenience stores, I was going all over the place. I was a regional manager. And so I had stores out on Fort Myers Beach and in LaBelle and, all over like South Florida. I think whichever one you're most comfortable with is what you should do, Sylvia. Maybe try to record something really short today, like a little intro, and see how you feel in doing a pre-recorded video. And then, because you need an intro for your channel anyway, and then see how you feel about editing that, because mine took me a few tries to get it. And then maybe just do a trial live. Let us know when you're going live, and let us come in and help you get past your nerves, because I think everybody's rooting for you when you go on camera. It's just, I know the first time I went on camera, I was like, oh, I'm going to get picked on. And everybody was super nice. I've been really lucky. Water and hot chamomile tea. That's nice. Your kidneys love you, I'm sure. Yeah, Sylvia, if you have a link for your channel, or if you have a name, Colleen, I'll be happy to share it for you. I'd like that, Delia. Thank you very much. I'm always interested in learning new ways to use it. Have you got bad weather too? Rainy and chilly? I think that's what Lynn said she had, was rainy and chilly. Sylvia, I can't wait to see you on camera though, because I love British and Australian accents. I love any accents really. Um, even the Appalachian accent that my family has and that I pick up as soon as I get on the phone with any of them. I love that. And I've been talking to Tracy. She doesn't have a lot of an accent until she starts speaking French. And then it's like, wow. Yeah. Good morning, Laura. How are you today? Sherlock Sows. I'm waiting to see what she's going to come up with pattern wise. Sherlock Sows makes me feel like she's going to be Professor Pincushion, like doing the Alton Brown thing to sewing, like Alton Brown does to food. Oh, bread rises because of chemistry, and then he explains it. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. Oh, that's not bad, Sylvia. That's how I started drinking coffee, was with lots of milk. I still put creamer in, but I can't do the milk anymore. You resemble that? I thought it was, I'm sure that you were probably saying something absolutely normal for day-to-day life, but she was speaking French to her son, and he was speaking it back, and I was like, oh, that's so cool sounding. Kind of how people probably feel when I throw my little tiny bits of Spanish out there. Yeah, because we definitely want to promote you, Sylvia. We definitely want to do that. And then I don't know how many of you, I'm going to brag on myself for a second. I don't know how many of you heard this when the live first started. I put up a short yesterday morning of the sewing machine that I'm working on, like a 6-second short. It has over 1,200 views. And I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. So I'm hoping to get to the views and the hours that I need around the same time that I get to the subscribers. I'm pushing for 1,000 really hard now. I made 250 something as of yesterday, and I'm happy about that. And I love all of you, but I want there to be more of you. So I'm trying to figure out what I need to do in order to get my subscriber count up. I don't even know. I'm just like, how do I do this? If you guys have suggestions, I would be thrilled. Thank you, Sylvia. I appreciate that. But I would like to get to the 1,000 subscriber count, and I'm getting close to the number of hours that I need for monetization through YouTube. Not that I'm going to make big money on YouTube. That's my next goal. I wanted to hit 250, and I just did that. Now I'd like to, maybe I should make my goal smaller. I'd like to hit 500, and then I'd like to hit 1,000. But I'm like, yes, let's go, let's try. Well, Lynn, thank you for the 3 views from it. It's only 6 seconds long. But I thought, it's a bad sewing machine. It needs to be beaten up. I like it. Uh-oh. What happened? Sherlock says. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not good when physical therapy makes you feel worse. Oh, well, Lynn, like I said, thank you for watching it 3 times. I appreciate it. But I'm, happy to have reached this goal. And then the next one is 1,000. I'll say 500 because it took me a little while to get to 250. But I'd really like to get to 1,000 into the 4,000 watch hours so that I can, monetize and go to the next step on YouTube. There's some things I can't do until I hit 1,000. One of them is I can't go live on a mobile device on my phone. I can only go live on a laptop or a tablet. I don't have a tablet, and I'm not coordinated enough probably to carry a tablet around and record video. But I would like to be able to, once I start putting quilts on the cutie, I'd like to be able to live stream from that. The way it looks right now, the only way I'd be able to live stream would be if I took my laptop over there and did it. And I don't think that's going to work very well because that frame's only 4 feet wide. Not yet, Lynn. I know how to solve one of the issues, but I've got to take the front panel off of it. And I had all this Cricut stuff out, so I didn't want to pull apart the rest of the sewing machine. But that's the next step, is to take apart the rest of the sewing machine. I can fix the reverse issue. I already know how to do that. I looked it up, but I haven't figured out how to change the stitch out on it yet. So hopefully when I fix the reverse issue, that'll fix the stitch issue as well. And if it does, if I can get it up to sew, I will definitely be putting up a video to show that it sews. And heck, I may keep it out here and use it to piece with. It's a decent machine if I can get it running, if I can get it doing what I want. Now, if I wanted to only sew that zigzag stitch that's on there and sew backwards, didn't mind sewing backwards, I could use it like it is right now. But I'd really like to get it working properly. And then, if I kill it using it to piece, that's not a big deal. But if I have it working properly, I can also, donate it to somebody who needs or wants a sewing machine and can't afford to buy one. Apparently, sewing machines have become rare, short supply, and expensive here lately. So I'm really motivated to get this one running. It's okay, Stephanie. I'm cleaning today too, so don't feel bad. And I'm about to say bye. I still haven't seen Quilting in the Country, but I'm hoping Lori's out there and getting geared up to do hers. I hope everybody gave me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please share with your friends. Only because, and that's why I'm trying to be as consistent as possible, Wendy. Oh, well, Lori, if there's anything I can help with, let me know. My embroidery machine's on my list of things I want to get better at. Yeah, so we got to make the ones that we have work, right, Lynn? But I'm hoping to get to the 1,000 mark soon. I'm getting ready to put an icy hot patch in that exact spot, Colleen, because mine's doing it right now. And I will see you guys at Lori's, or I will listen to you guys over at Kathy's today. I'm going to work on my room while she's live. I'll just keep it up so I can see if, a troll comes in or anything. And I'm looking forward. I bought Embrilliance and Simply Applique to do this chicken salad quilt with. So, like I said, I had to relearn my Cricut. And then I've got some videos recorded. A couple of them I want to re-record because I don't like how they show the process of doing things. So I want to re-record those. And that's the other reason that I want to talk to Donna, is so that I can figure out how to get a camera above my mat so you guys can see more clearly what I'm doing. Lori Miller, well, the one I'm talking about who's supposed to come on is Quilting in the Country. She did put up a video yesterday, a pre-recorded one. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Of her sewing space. She was showing the basics, and she showed her long arm. She's got a 12-foot long arm in there and a 17-inch throat space on her machine. So I'm hoping. Oh, you're going live on Friday? What time? I go on at noon, so I will try to be there if it's before or after. but I'm not going to cry if you go live at noon Eastern. I just won't be able to be there. All right, Lynn, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us. Don't get too cold or wet out there. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you all a bit later. I'm going to go see what's going on with quilting in the country, and I'm looking forward to learning some stuff from you guys, and I'll get that video out. If not during this week, then I will put it out over the weekend for you day. Okay? Bye, guys. Have a great day. Thank you.